guess. I guess we are live. Hello, YouTube. My name is Mushiri Wamoreu.
We're joined by Emmanuel Godfrey. How are you doing? How are you doing?
How you doing? Yo.
Third live, man.
That live.
I think we're getting used to this. It's becoming interesting.
We are getting to be a live channel here. Mm-hmm. We are improving. We are getting better every day. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So how you guys doing? Today we thought we'd just do this Kevin Samuels video. He's just dropped it a few minutes ago, and we said, you know what? Why not go live like Kevin does? Because this guy inspires us to be better. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah, he's I would call him my role model when it comes to matters of women, love, and marriage and things like that.
Yeah. He's quite something, you know. Yeah. I have changed a lot of my ways also because of watching him. I'm not saying I was terrible, but he's definitely changed some of my perspectives.
He has changed a lot of things. A lot. And we respect him and we appreciate his existence and we want to protect him at all costs.
Yeah, long live the Godfather.
Long live Kevin Samuels.
Yeah, when I watched that movie, I know there's some people who are spamming my comments saying, yo, you guy, you need to watch the Godfather.
But that was on some drug dealer type of shit. Right?
Yeah. It's there's a lot of war and killing each other, you know. But it was a really, really nice movie. I understand why people wanted me to watch it.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever watched it, but
man, you should now. You should now that I've watched it. I fully understand why people wanted me to watch it. Yeah. Anyway, let's go into the video. The title of the video is "Sassy Bus Driver Doesn't Want to Settle." Yeah, that's what Kevin Samuels is saying about it. So let's get into it. Yeah, shall we?
Yeah, let's do this.
You got to go to the bathroom?
Well, I was looking for some light.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
I got my bathing suit on.
First of all, why is she coming on a bathing suit? Is she trying to turn Kevin Samuels on?
It's like she just got out of the bathroom.
Why? Why are you going live out of when you're just out of the bathroom?
I had to laugh at that.
You really don't think that was not intentional?
She could have waited for at least 10 minutes to get dressed up.
This was intentional.
Yeah. We've seen it all.
Yeah,
we know what's underneath that rug.
I don't. Me, you know, I'm good boy. We
do.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Well, how old are you?
I'm 32.
All right. Any single or married?
I'm single.
Any kids?
Nope.
What you got?
I don't want to be nobody's side chick because I want to be married. I'm out on my own. I've been holding it down on my own, but it's kind of hard, Kevin, because like really when women say they want to look for the right person, they got their own definition about that, but it's hard. It's hard because then it's hard. I tried. I'm 32 with no kids. I live on my own. It's not
what's
easy.
hard. What's hard about it?
It's just like.
So I need you to stay still. You can't be moving around like that.
The actions, like it's just.
No, I don't.
They act like they don't want to like.
Okay, I need you.
Right.
Okay, hold up. I need you to stay still and keep the camera steady, so because it's making a bad show for everybody else. Okay.
Gotcha.
I really don't understand what you're talking about. Because what's the only common denominator? What's the only?
Go ahead.
What's the only common denominator in all of our relationships?
I don't know. I don't know. It's the patience.
You know what a common denominator is?
Yeah, it's the bottom line. Yes, I know.
No, it's not what a common denominator is.
What
the
is
same
it?
thing.
What is it?
The only common denominator in all of our relationships is us.
Correct. But men these days, it's difficult because they want their cake and eat it too.
It's always the man, huh?
It could be the woman too, but
No, we're talking about you. So if I talk to all your exes and ask them how did they experience you, what do you think they'd say?
they're gonna give good stuff out. They're gonna say I have a little attitude and my mouth is slick, but that's about it.
Why is it that every African American woman always say they have an attitude and their mouth is kind of potty?
I think it's true. From what we have seen,
Yeah,
majority of them, they are quick to respond.
mm-hmm.
They don't really think about what they are saying or the consequences of what they are saying until after the damage is done.
Yeah,
Yeah, and they have an attitude in the sense that they are combative, they are defensive, extremely defensive. I'll use that word. Yeah,
extremely defensive.
they are extremely defensive.
For me, man, any woman who thinks they have a bad mouth, it's really a turn off.
And she said something else.
What?
That men these days are this and that. It's always the man's problem.
Yeah, it's always the man's issue.
I've never understood how you're looking for a man and you still complain about men.
Well, but again, that's how you know men are the leaders. Because leaders are always going to be blamed, right?
The blame is
I
always
mean,
on the man.
if she was dating someone who she didn't think was a good leader, then of course she's going to shit all over him. And especially if the guy actually wasn't a good leader. Because, how men will never blame the women. Do you always hear men like complaining about women?
They don't, but then again they do.
Really?
When it fits the description of whatever issue they are having.
Mm-hmm.
If the woman is the one who has a problem, of course I'm going to say, you are the one with the problem.
Yeah.
I'm not going to keep quiet and just take it all in simply because I'm the man and she's a woman. No. You have to be accountable for your actions. And that's what we see most of them avoiding, which is rather unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most of the guys I know, they normally just say, "Oh man, it didn't work out." they don't go blaming the woman, But again, there's some times when you have to like say, "Yo, she messed up and I had to leave."
She messed up. If she messed up, I'm telling you, you did this and that. I'm not sticking by. I'm not tolerating this. I need to have
I'm not sugarcoating it.
I'm leaving.
It
I am
is what
leaving.
it is, and
it is what it is. That's what we say right
you're
here.
bouncing.
Yeah, and I'm leaving. And I will not lose a wink of sleep. I will not lose sleep at night.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's continue.
That's about it?
Yeah. They gonna say good stuff. As far as the bad stuff, but they gonna say I'm independent.
Who gives a shit about? No disrespect, man. Who gives a shit that you're a functioning adult? Okay, nobody cares that you've been holding it down.
Yeah, these boss babes and all, because that's the narrative she's trying to sell here.
She's been holding it down. What?
I've been holding you.
What?
You're expected to hold it down for yourself, right?
You're a grown-up. You live alone. You're supposed to pay your bills. No one's gonna do that for you.
Yeah, no one cares if you're holding it down for yourself.
No one cares.
Like that's what is expected.
If you wanted to have someone support you, you could have stayed in your father's house.
Yeah, your father is always going to be the ones willing to support you without any expectations.
And I don't understand how women are independent. They are boss ladies. They are empowered.
Yeah.
But they still blame the man.
Do you imagine men going around saying, "Oh, I'm a boss man. I
pay my bills.
I pay my own bills." Oh man.
And it's not even anything major. You're just paying rent.
Yeah, it's your
and
own
the
thing.
light bill and the gas bill and
And
whatever. And
buying
your car
your own
notes.
food.
And you're buying your own food. And you're making your own hair. You're not doing anything outstanding.
Yeah, it's like. So
You're a grown-up.
we should look at you and be like, "Oh my God,
You deserve an award.
done."
Yes. Here,
made
award
it.
for the best independent woman on the planet. Yeah.
Who the fuck
Get
cares?
the fuck out of here.
That means you're taking care of yourself. But they're gonna say you got an attitude and a slick mouth, and that's it.
Nothing positive.
That I'm
That's
loving
it, huh?
and caring.
That-
That I'm
but
loving
I-
and caring.
So much.
Now she's starting to add up into the. She didn't even think about that before.
She didn't.
Yeah, it was like, yeah, I have an attitude, and my mouth is not
Slick. She has a quick mouth. Excuse me for that. She has a quick mouth.
And she didn't even think about anything positive for herself. It's like, hey, what do your employers think about you? Oh, they think I'm lazy. They think I am not early for work or whatever. I mean, you could have said, oh man, I am like so hardworking. I make sure my boss gets whatever it is he wants or she
Never
wants.
said anything positive.
No,
She knows.
if you don't
she's
say
full
anything
of
positive about yourself, like that's a red flag.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that you got an attitude and a slick mouth. What makes women like you think that that's acceptable?
I speak my mind. If nothing don't feel right, then I'm
That's why you're alone. That's why you're alone. That's why you're alone.
It's hard. I don't want to be
No,
alone.
no. It's not hard. It's not hard. Acting right shouldn't be this hard.
Got you. I feel like
what do you do for a living?
I'm a bus operator. I work for the city, drive buses.
So you just do what the fuck you want to in the bus. You just speed. You do whatever you want to. Don't obey the traffic laws.
I do.
Okay, so you can act like right when the white man's money's on the line.
Unfortunately.
See how that works, gentlemen? See how that works when her holding it down is jeopardized, that white paycheck is on the line, then all of a sudden these sassy, slick mouth women, they can show act right.
It's not easy. I live in LA and it's not.
Listen to all these excuses. Listen to all these excuses.
I don't have no kids, so if I
So
was
what?
like,
So what?
give a fuck
So
and
what?
I'm settled,
So what?
excuse my language, but you know.
So what? You don't have any kids. You don't have any kids. Due respect, man, you don't have any kids. What do you mean settle? You're a bus driver.
You gonna make me person.
What do you think about her career choice?
She's in LA. She's a bus driver. Majority of people who live in LA are not employed, from what we see here. They are either in the entertainment business or they're athletes or they're celebrities or something of the sort. So her having a job in LA as a bus driver, first of all, she is in a city where she can get literally any type of man she desires.
I don't know. I think it's a good thing for me if she's actually hustling. If she has a job.
She has a job which is
Plus,
something.
LA doesn't necessarily mean that everybody there is doing all those acting things. I mean, someone has to be running the buses,
Yes.
the shops. Someone there has to be people in those.
The reason I'm
fields, so-
saying that is, compare if she was living in a very, very small town in the middle of nowhere, she wouldn't be getting options when it comes to men. But she's in LA. There are big cities in the States, like in New York, LA. Those are places where there are plenty of people to choose from, but she's not getting any of them.
Yeah.
The question is why?
The why is she has stray mouth.
She's 32 years old with no kids.
Yeah.
Okay, good job. You didn't get a baby when you were younger. But
Good job.
good job. You didn't get a kid before you got married.
Yeah.
Or you protected yourself from getting pregnant before having a husband. That's a good thing. But then again, your time has already gone. You're 32 years old. You're doing this job which doesn't give you time to interact with other people. So her options are becoming limited simply because, first of all, her age.
Yeah.
Number two is she does not have time to interact with as many men as humanly possible, or the right men.
Yeah.
Then again, we say you attract what you are. She has a slick mouth. She has an attitude. What do you think? When I look, this is what I see when I look at her. She's good for fun, but not good enough to keep. That's the first thing I saw when I saw her.
Chill out.
That's the first thing I thought of when I saw her.
you'd want to have some fun with her, but wouldn't settle.
I don't think I would.
Personally, I haven't thought that she was too aggressive so far. Like, but maybe it's going to get down. Who knows?
Yes, she's definitely gonna get it down.
She's trying to show off twins.
She's really trying. She's fast trapping a man who has seen it all.
Do you think this thing is going to impress Kevin Samuels, really?
No, nothing. You're wasting your
I
time,
just want you
baby.
guys to think for a second that the world we live in, to where a sassy, attitude, sassy mouth bus driver thinks she's settling for somebody.
Oh, man.
You actually missed a point.
That's how far. Y'all don't understand how bad you guys have gotten, because you're on here talking about how hard it is. You exactly where you sound like you need to be by yourself.
On some occasions, yeah, I do. Yeah.
Well, you like dogs or cats?
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You know what's coming.
Buy a dog, die alone. No man's land. Here
What
we
you
come.
mean by that? I like a human being. Like,
Mm-hmm. But you're gonna. If you had to pick between dog or cat, what would you pick?
it'd definitely be a cat.
Let me say something. I wouldn't choose any. I mean, it's clearly a trap. He's just trying to look for the best sound effects to put. Right now, she's going to be like, meow, 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 meow.
Woof, woof. Buy a dog and die alone, baby.
Okay, well, good with that, because see, a cat don't care about what comes out of your mouth because they don't speak human.
But that's not what it's gonna be though. One day, you know, that's not
Right, all right. And one day, because you know, human beings as they get older, only become less like they are or more like they are.
I tried to follow your advice, but it's
You have.
I watch you all the time, but I'm telling I don't know.
Why is it so hard for you to behave?
Because I'm gonna express myself. Like if I feel like somebody trying to take control of, not even control, like take advantage of me. I'm a Capricorn, so I'm big hearted. So if I feel like somebody
I get so sick of
This science.
I'm a Cancer. They say Cancers are the most dangerous human beings on the planet.
Come on. Superstition in the US sucks, man.
They believe in this shit, so maybe
Like,
she
no, I
feels...
think some stars are aligning for you because you were born in a certain date.
Look, man, I just know.
Like, it's a stupid idea.
And they say Cancers are dangerous. I don't know how, because I've never harmed anyone.
I mean, cancer
even-
is a bad disease, though.
It's a disease, but when it comes to science, we are the most dangerous people.
Even when it comes to diseases,
That's the most dangerous disease.
yeah.
There's a freak, I don't know.
There's
But-
a link somewhere. It's a link.
black people with this zodiac shit.
Zodiac.
I'm a Capricorn. It's hard. All right. So what? Capricorn, it's hard. Well, then what are your alternatives? Buy a dog or a cat and die alone. I mean, it's hard, right? So, hey, you're in LA. You and the cat can eat the same food. We're talking
Cat
about
can eat
just
the same food. What? Do people eat cat food?
No, cats eat human food.
Ah, well, yeah, it could be either or.
Yeah. Cats eating human food. She's in LA. This chick is tripping.
simple common decency and respect. And I said, how would your exes tell me they experienced you? And you said it. They would probably tell you I have a bit of an attitude, which is a whole lot, and a slick mouth. Well, see, that's the problem. You ladies are able to talk crazy to men with no consequences. So now what men are doing is just avoiding you. You can't even give it away. And men don't want to tolerate this. We haven't even got to the important stuff because you're just out of control. That's fine. You think that gets better with age?
No, I only get older.
So, since you seem to know those couple of issues, what are you doing about them? Nothing.
I'm working on it. I'm a work in
With
progress.
who? With who? With who? Nobody.
Yeah, I'm
So in other
single.
words, she's not doing anything. Not doing anything. She knows her issues and is doing absolutely nothing. So that's a formula for what kind of outcome?
Do you think the marriages back in the day is
No,
different?
no, 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 no. You got to answer my question before I answer yours.
First of all, why would a man want to settle with a woman if you think you're like so sassy, you know, and all those negative stuff? Like, men generally don't want that. They can, like you said, you people would maybe want to sleep with her, but that's one thing that ladies don't understand. A man can easily sleep with you with no problem
And walk away as if nothing happened.
and just walk and won't even remember. But you are there hoping he's like attached or something. Men don't get attached with sex.
They don't. And
So you have to make yourself more appealing to the guy.
Yeah.
You have to stand out from the crowd.
Yes.
And from the rest of LA women. You have to make sure you are giving him the reasons and the best reasons of why he should wife you up or make you a girlfriend, you know. But if you're just sleeping with him, like, what is the difference between you and the rest of the women? Like, if that's all I get, then let me go and sleep with the most attractive women. If I'm undressed, but then I'm going to come to you, right?
And here's the thing. Personally, for me right now, I am not just sleeping with anyone.
Yeah.
Like, there are women who I'll meet, and no matter how attractive they are, that's as far as I can go. Maybe just saying hi, we talk, and after that, I don't want.
Yeah.
I'm not sleeping with you, and it's because of the energy they bring into the room.
Mm-hmm.
A woman like that, she might be sexually attractive, let's say from the neck going down.
Yeah.
But what kind of energy does she come with? How does she talk to you? What does she say? Is when you talk to her, do you feel safe emotionally? Because I've realized, for me, if I want to be in a relationship, I have to be with a woman who I feel emotionally safe with. That if I invest my emotions onto her, they'll be in a safe place. This is not someone who's gonna play around with me. She's not gonna try anything funny. You understand? But women like that, you can always be sure she can wake up in the middle of the night with a problem and snap at you.
Yeah.
And no man wants to deal with such things.
Yeah.
At 32 years old, with no kids, no man, something is wrong with you.
Something is definitely wrong.
You had, what, 12 years?
Of playing the field.
Yeah, you had enough time. And you are alone and you're complaining and you're saying, I haven't found a man to settle down with. What is a man set? You're not settling down with anyone. You are at the bottom already.
People are going to be questioning your motives at this point. When you're older, men tend to like think of you like, is she just trying to get someone? Am I just a random guy she's now maybe trying to just get attached to? You know, when you get older as a woman, that's what men start thinking. Like, should I be careful with you? Are you trying to get pregnant and trap me?
And for women like that, you would have all the reasons to think like that.
Yeah. What do you think about her bus career? Is it too masculine? Is it something that would be a turn off for men? Like, let's say in Kenya.
It will be strange to see a woman driving a bus in Kenya.
But
I've seen.
Yeah.
But this is why I will never board a bus which is being driven by a woman.
Really? You're a sexist,
I will never do that. And it's not because of anything. It's just that I don't trust women behind the wheel. I have seen way too many women on the road making mistakes.
Yeah.
Simply because they are women on the
Really? Simply because they are women, or simply because they made mistakes?
No, simply because they are women behind the wheel.
I mean, men make mistakes all the time.
Yes, but you understand.
Is it because they're men?
No. When a man is...
Then why is it that when a woman is making a mistake, it's simply because she's a woman? How do you qualify that? How do you decide, okay, this mistake was simply because you're a woman, No, I'm going to put your feet on the fire on this.
It's okay, and I'm okay with that. If I have no answer, I'll say I don't have anything to say. But women think about so many things. When a man is doing one thing, he's concentrated on one simple thing. His mind is not divided. But for a woman, their minds are not built like that. They have a million things going on their heads. And seeing a woman driving...
I'm simply asking about the accidents. Like, let's say you've seen an accident about on the highway here. How do you decide that, yes, or do you go and see, okay, this was a woman, so the accident is definitely because she was a woman? Or do you actually analyze the situation? Or do you analyze
the situation?
Yeah.
And see, maybe she's the one who is at fault, maybe it's the other guy.
Yeah.
Now, if it's her
so
who was
accidents are accidents.
Accidents
they're
are
not
accidents.
Based on
they're not based
sex.
On gender at all. What I'm saying is I would feel safe. I will feel safer being driven by a man compared to being driven by a woman.
Is this based on experience?
It's based on experience.
What experience?
I have seen women, like I said earlier on, I've seen women on the road, how they behave. Their minds are always thinking about many other things. You're on the road, your job is to drive that car or that bus, that truck, whatever it is you're driving. And women's minds, they're not built like that. Everything is intertwined. You've ever heard of something called the empty box? In a man's mind, there's something called an empty box. Our minds are compartmentalized.
Compartmentalized.
Yes,
something.
Our minds have different compartments, different. And there's one part of our mind which is completely empty. A man can sit idle and not think about a thing. And when a woman sees that, she doesn't understand what's going on. But for a woman, each compartment is linked to another. One is linked to the other. One is linked to the other. One is linked to the other. She may be thinking about her kids. She might be thinking about, obviously, driving. She might be thinking about food. She might be thinking about her body. She might be thinking about her man at the same time. Why would I put myself in that situation?
Really? Huh.
Yes.
I don't know. Personally, I don't mind a woman driving as long as I've seen her driving several times and I can establish that she's a
Of course,
good driver.
there are very many women who are good drivers.
Yeah.
But the simple fact that they can be easily distracted, that's
I don't know.
that's a red. I will not say a red flag. That is a concern for me. That is a concern for me.
That one, I'm not supporting.
I wouldn't be in a bus being driven by a woman.
For
no
me,
matter how good she is.
It's simply I wouldn't be in a vehicle driven by someone who's inexperienced. That is how I would put it. I don't care if it's a woman or a man. If you're an inexperienced driver, I don't want you driving me. And if you're a woman or whoever, like let's say you have a woman who is experienced and a man who is inexperienced.
Obviously, I'll choose the one who's experienced.
Exactly.
Not because of the gender. I'm just saying, if a woman was to drive, these are some of the things that will be going on in her head. It's not that she's not inexperienced. It's not because she's not experienced in driving. She's been driving for years. But simply because her mind can easily wander into something else, that is a concern for me.
Okay.
That's a concern for me.
Let's continue. I don't think we are going to agree on this one.
You won't.
Okay.
That's a formula for what kind of outcome?
Nothing.
So what's your question?
Do you think the marriages is different from like back in the...
Yes.
Versus this generation, because nowadays marriage don't last.
Stop. You got to stop. You got to stop. When you touch your phone, it cut off. Do I think marriages back in the day are different from today? I said yes. And you said what? Marriage don't last?
No.
No. You lady.
I didn't notice something about her nails. She's a bus driver and she has these fancy nails. What for?
Beauty enhancement.
Do you personally like these long nails?
I don't mind them. So long as they look, they match your look.
Yeah.
I've seen some outrageous ones. Extremely long, like maybe 2, 3. I don't know how long that is, but I've seen extremely long nails.
Yeah.
Which I find to be very uncomfortable. I don't know how you operate anything with those claws on your fingers. I don't. But so long as she looks presentable, personally, I don't mind how a woman accessorizes herself, do whatever you want, so long as you look presentable and you look decent and you look respectable. But there's always an image you will portray to the public, especially if you are doing a job which includes the public, like what she's doing. She's a bus driver, so she's engaging with a lot of strangers every single day. So someone will walk into, and you can't falter people for this, someone will walk into the bus and see that, and I don't know how their bus network works over there, but if it was in Nairobi, you can easily walk in, see that, get out.
No, talk about yourself on this.
Let me tell you something.
I wouldn't judge by the nails, but
you won't judge.
However, I'm like thinking, oh, why is she trying to? It doesn't fit the job that she does.
Let me ask you something, right?
Yeah.
We're in Kenya, right? We have no idea how the buses over there work. Let's use our example. You walk into one of our many bus companies, one of the buses on the road. You see a woman with those long nails behind the wheel. Are you staying inside that bus or getting out?
I wouldn't even bother. It wouldn't bother me, like personally. If she's been given the bus to drive, obviously the company knows she's a competent driver.
But you know how Kenyan buses work. Most of these drivers, some of them are not even hired by the bus company themselves.
Let's be honest. If it's a female driver, she's been vetted.
She has been.
Yeah.
But as I was saying, some of these bus drivers in our country, they're not hired by the actual bus company. They are given they are called squads by the person who's actually being hired. So you get into a bus, you see someone who has been given the chance to drive that bus for two trips, right? And the original bus driver is somewhere resting.
Yeah.
And you walk in and you see that. Are you staying inside that bus or getting out?
The point is, she on a bounce of probability, she wouldn't be the one being given the squad. She would be the employee. Yes.
Personally, I would. You know? Okay.
Yeah.
Do I sit? Okay.
Really? You're sexist. Okay. I mean, there was something I wasn't. I actually wanted to react to, but then I got taken aback with
things. Don't last. Do I think marriages back in the day are different from today? I said yes. And you said what? Marriage don't last?
No.
No. You ladies don't last. You're lower quality than your grandmothers.
Okay.
Your grandmothers were better women.
They was raised different.
They were better women. They understood the value of family. They believed in God.
I believe in God.
What do you think about the older women of maybe our grandmothers?
He as well support
versus the women.
He as well support what she's saying. Those people were born in a different time.
Yeah.
They had different experiences, and whatever it is they were doing at that time fitted that time. We're living in the 21st century right now. Our grandmothers were alive, they were young, 60 years ago. That's a long time ago.
Yeah.
That's the time when marriage in the US was at 80% for black people. Right now it has declined significantly. There were no divorces that are as much as the ones we're seeing today. So obviously women at that time were very different. There was no social media.
I'm more concerned about what we have here. Is it are they so different, like with the girls that we are dating right now? Do you think if we were dating our grandmothers, we would have had a different experience?
Very different.
In what way? How different are our modern women in Kenya?
Modern women in Kenya have been exposed to so many things. Positive things. Education, sense to have their voice being heard, the choice to dress in whatever attire they want to dress in, a variety of men to choose from because of social media. But if you look at those four aspects, they didn't exist 60 years ago in Kenya. So obviously women at that time, they were very different. Let's start with social media. There was no social media. So a woman will not be getting validation, whether genuine or fake, from thousands of strangers. It will be from a genuine person. Of course, there are those who used to lie, obviously, but it will not be as intense as it is today.
Yeah, it's even overlooked. It's like,
right?
telling
Dressing.
me I'm cute. I've been told that so many times.
For
It's not a
example,
big deal.
dressing. 60 years ago, obviously people used to wear revealing clothes, but it's not to what we are seeing today, the extent of what we are seeing today. I saw a photo of Afghanistan back in the days of, I think it was 1940s, 1950s, and women used to wear just normal skirts and blouses and things like that, and they didn't have the hijab. But fast forward to like 30 years later, when the first Taliban the first Sharia laws tried to impose it in Afghanistan, everything changed. Now they have everything covered up when they tried to do that the first time. Right? So obviously women today, they are very different from women from back in the days.
Yeah.
Now, would I choose a woman from back in the days compared to today? No.
Really?
I prefer women from today.
Reason being?
I was born in this time. Simple as that. I don't know about 50 years ago. I was not around. The farthest I can go is read and watch what happened at that time.
As long as he's doing what you need. Oh, really?
Through the good, through the bad. My best and my worst.
Really?
Really.
You're a Christian?
I'm not a Christian, no.
So what God are you talking about?
It's only one God.
Which is who?
But what I'm saying is, do you
No.
think I'm not a Christian, no.
You said you believe in God.
I believe in Jesus Christ, yeah. The Holy Spirit, yeah.
But you're not a Christian?
Mm-mm.
How does that even
Why?
make sense?
Because I'm not living every day as I'm not doing it. I'm not living every day. I'm not.
So again, this is why I challenge women when they talk about God. Jesus is like cosmic Santa Claus to be able to give them what they want when they want to. You're undisciplined, man. There's no discipline you're under. No religious discipline. This is why y'all are less quality women than your grandmothers. Your grandmothers submitted themselves to something greater. Y'all submit yourselves to your bag.
Yeah.
Bus driving bags. That's how low the standard is. I mean, bus driving, whatever job. I mean,
Whatever job, yeah.
The average
Some
black
women
woman
got
makes
business.
The average black woman in this country makes $28,000 a year, but they'd rather have $28,000 and no husband. That's a bag. You can't get along with a man. That's the problem. So if you're not going to do anything to fix it, that means you're going to live your life by yourself.
Got you.
Unless you see a different outcome. Do you?
No, like you said, if you change, working.
Oh. Okay, so
I
let's go,
understand.
let's fast forward 30 years. How long you been working for the city?
Well, I mean, I don't think my job got nothing to do with,
Excuse me, ma'am. How long you been working for the city?
7 years.
You plan on retiring with this job?
No.
Okay. What job do you plan on? What do you plan on doing until 65?
I want to open up a business.
Doing what?
I want to do an animal spa business. I like animals, so that was a good
Did you go to
question
college?
you asked me earlier. I love animals.
Did you go to college?
No, some college. I didn't finish.
So where do you plan on getting the money to start this business?
Good question.
So in other words, you're just talking.
Huh?
So in other words, you're just talking and dreaming.
Brainstorming. Yeah.
No, talking and dreming. See, I like calling shit what it is.
Manifesting.
Talking.
Brainstorming by yourself.
She said manifesting.
What's this manifesting bullshit?
That's a low income paying job in the States. You can't even save money with that. Considering she's living in LA.
Yeah, that
Yay.
That won't work out.
Talking and dreaming.
Manifesting, that's correct.
Talking and dreaming. You have no money to start a business, and being an animal spa is going to give you $2.7 million to retire on.
What that have to do with a man?
She don't even get it.
I get it.
You ain't gonna hit a man because your attitude's too bad. So if you can't behave and act right, ain't nobody gonna want to deal with this. So you're gonna have to take care of yourself till you die. That's what it got to do with it. Because you got a slick mouth and you kind of got an attitude. That means ain't nobody gonna couple with you. That means you got to take care of you until you die. And the job you're working right now is a job. It ain't nothing to retire on. No children, no husband means what happens when you can't work or you get sick. You gonna be on the street.
I understand. Trust, I feel you on that.
So this is why I said, I'm talking, I'm manifesting. That means the Jesus the God I do not follow and the life I don't live, he's supposed to manifest and give me stuff. Yeah. I'm gonna just say this, man. Far too many of our women are just walking around like big children. Y'all are not serious people. At 30 some odd, you know your grandmother? Yep. You can't make this shit up.
Yeah,
they're walking around like big children.
She is a big baby.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
Realistic human being.
But watching Kevin Samuels made me appreciate Kenyan women a little bit more.
A little bit more.
Just a little. Just a little, man. We don't have it as bad as they
don't. We don't.
Yo, man.
But I was telling you before we went live, in the next 20 years, we're gonna be here.
Fingers crossed. I mean, we are making these videos so that we are able to educate our women more.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I understand this video is viewed out there a bit more, but eventually we are going to go local and also give what we know and try to help the situation here. Also solve the situation that is to make it not get as bad, because in the US is like they didn't have anyone to like look up to and see what can go wrong, but when we are here and we are seeing our women kind of admiring
and emulating
the US kind of lifestyle, the Caribbean and what have you, it's kind of scary,
And it is, because we've started seeing some of those things. And one of the reasons why I'm even into this YouTube thing and also learning how to, educate women and even men about relationships and men and women. So they have a daughter. She's turning 4 next month.
Yeah.
In 20 years time, she'll be 24 years old.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't do my job right, she's going to end up pregnant with some dude who doesn't want to be with her. And 20 years from now will be an even crazier society than we are right now.
True.
So I'm doing this to take care of my kid and as many women as I possibly can. But the reason why we are even delving into American things is like we are going into the future.
Because that's exactly where we are going, all headed. But hopefully you're going to save the situation here. I don't want it to
we have to. That's 2 years old, no babies, living in LA.
Yeah,
you need to come to Kenya, bro.
Let's see the next video. This is the video of modern mothers. Modern mothers failing their daughters.
Yeah.
So this is another one of Kevin Samuels. So let's see what's up with this.
Are you raising your daughters to be wives?
Yes, I am. My daughter is on honor roll.
That's a good student. That's not necessarily a wife.
And she's on honor roll. She has a nice personality. She's smart. She works hard.
Sounds like a decent human being. But that is not a wife. What is a wife?
She cooks. She's domesticated.
She's a helpmeet to a man.
Mm-hmm.
She cooperates with him. So all the things you just ran down was a citizen, but raising a daughter to be a wife means you're preparing her to be in partnership with a man for a lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you're saying you're doing?
Mm-hmm.
So what kind of talks about relationships do I have?
We have really long talks about relationships and, the things that should be accepted and shouldn't be accepted and what you should to have.
What you kind of broke up. I couldn't hear what you should what?
To do as a woman to make sure that she's the wife that a man needs.
Okay.
At the time of when that time comes.
Okay. About what age do you think that time should come?
For her, I hope it's like 30.
What about your other daughter?
She is 19, and she's on the spectrum. She likes girls.
How old is this woman?
She wants her daughter to get married at 30 years old. That is a bit too late.
It's too late.
Right?
Mm-hmm. And is she married herself?
Because at that point, people will be like, why are you not married and you're 30?
You notice the first thing she said, she's an honor something. She was focusing on her education, which means later on in life, the daughter will be defined by her career. She'll define herself by her career.
Yeah.
And Kevin Samuels says, this PhD women.
Yeah.
Well, we know how we already know how it's gonna end. Yes,
but 30 years old, man, no. At 25 at most.
In the States, 25 is, I would say here in Kenya, maybe would go to that extent of 30. But
Really?
Yeah.
In Kenya, 30, but in the US,
how many women do you find in Kenya are married at 25?
I mean, in the village. It's
Not in the village.
like all of them.
In the village, you get married even at 18.
It's like all
Some
of
are
them.
even sold, literally. But we're not going to talk into that. But in the village in Kenya, we find women.
But that's the
married.
majority of the people.
Yeah,
they
get
the city is not
married
like
at a
the
very young
majority.
age.
Yeah.
In the city, people usually take time. By the time a woman is settling down, she's maybe between 27 to 30, maybe 32, from what I've seen. It's usually around that period.
27 to 32.
Mm-hmm. I've seen young women getting married.
I don't see
I've seen women getting married.
I really don't.
25.
I don't see
But
women getting married at 30s in Kenya. Like when it's like the danger zone, like everywhere. Women are women all over the place. Doesn't matter if you're in Kenya, if you're in the US. However, I would even argue that in Kenya it's even worse. If you don't get married by 30,
it's a wrap.
You're in big trouble.
It's a wrap.
Yeah.
It's a wrap.
But you are saying that you will work in Kenya. I don't understand what you're thinking on that part.
Okay, so you want your daughter to be an old woman when it comes to be married.
No, I want her to have I want her to be educated. I want her to have a college degree before she gets married.
Why?
So that she has that certificate, so that she has that knowledge.
What does a college degree have to do with a husband?
Well, maybe she'll find her husband in college.
And she's not going to graduate till 30?
And no. No. But if she wants...
Then why so long?
Well, because I expect for her to pursue school for actually...
And what? She's going to get a master's, a PhD? What?
I'm a PhD.
Yes.
And then...
Sorry?
I said he will... If the daughter is going to focus on her education, she's going to end up focusing on her career and the accomplishments she's had academically.
Yeah.
And men don't usually look at such things when they're looking for a wife. I mean, it's good you have an education, but we're not really looking into that. You understand? And the woman started introducing a child as an what is it called? An honor roll, something of the sort, like someone who has good education background and probably has excelled academically. she should have started saying, I have a daughter, I have raised her to be feminine, cooperative, respectable woman. She's in school. This is what she's doing. I hope she'll graduate with this type of certificate. But I would like for her to understand that in life, as much as you're educated, you also need to have a man by your side. Simply because you'd want to have your own family, you'd want to have kids with someone who's your husband. And as much as you have this education, this is also equally important. But she did the complete opposite.
The thing about education is it's like tricky. Like, I can't tell women not to get educated.
And like, can I?
Sorry?
I can't tell them the same thing.
But it always seems like they're told, like, yo, don't get too educated. That's how it always sounds. Like, yo, for me, at that point, I'm usually thinking, is this really what I would tell my daughter?
Not to go to school.
So that she can get a man? Like, no. I don't see myself doing that.
Neither can I do that.
However, that's how it usually sounds like. If you're too educated as a woman, then it's like you're limiting your options. However, like, how do you even handle this situation? Because back in the day, yes, we are not. We are humans. We did always go to schools, you know, when we are even back then, like even 50 years ago. Like, let's say in Kenya, people are not going to school all that much.
Mm-hmm.
People would have just been married when they reach marriage age, and and the only education you got is from your parents, like the basic stuff. This is where you go and fetch water. This is how you cook. Hey, this is how you build your house. This is how you farm. You know, the basic stuff that's just surviving. But nowadays we have so much more in our societies that if you just do the basics, you will live a terrible life.
But education is to give yourself knowledge for the outside world, what you're going to experience. Maybe you want to start a business, things like that. I think education is important simply because it's going to... I don't take education as the key to success. It's just something to use to expand your mind or broaden your mind. Now, what you do with that education is up to you.
But again, it is the key to success, because if you don't broaden your mind, how are you going to be successful?
Well, you don't have to broaden your mind through education.
I mean, education is not necessarily going to school.
Yes.
Like I said, people are educated by their parents on the basic stuff.
Yes.
But nowadays, there's so much more to learn.
Now, and that's what I'm focusing on.
Yeah.
Going to school.
Mm-hmm.
And I would raise my child to appreciate education and appreciate the knowledge that you need as a human being in this world. And that is far away from what the school teaches. She needs to have a balance of both. Understand? And she started by introducing a child as an educated human being, which is not a bad thing. But then again, if your child grows up into thinking that that is what defines her, how many men will come to you and say, hey, you know what? I find the fact that you have studied for this and that and you have these papers, I find that attractive. No man is going to come saying that.
No. But however, it's not a negative either.
It's not a negative thing to be educated.
Yeah. I would think more of it as a positive than a negative, in fact. It's not what will make me want to settle with you. However, if you're not educated, I also don't want to deal with you. You know, I'd prefer someone who's somewhat educated also.
I've met women who are uneducated, like they didn't really go to school all the way. They never went to high school, nothing.
Yeah.
And they lack some realities of life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not that we don't want educated women. It's that it's not all that much a big deal for men.
Yeah, we don't really consider that.
But however, if you're stupid, then we also don't want you.
You know, they said the intelligence of a kid comes from the mother.
Intelligence of a kid comes from the mother.
I read that somewhere. A child's intelligence
because they spend so much more time with the mother.
I never really looked too deep into it, but I saw that as a heading somewhere. And let's assume that is true. Then would you choose an educated woman, someone who's all round. There's being book smart and being street smart. I would choose a woman who has a balance of both. Not someone who's highly educated, but when it comes to the realities of life, she's a complete idiot. I wouldn't choose that.
But do you find those people really? Do they exist? How could you be so smart? I mean, there's some situation where you could argue someone is street smart and less book smart, but you tend to see also the book smart people, they're not all that stupid, even when it comes to the street. Like you can't be sharp on one side and really be completely blunt on the other end. So that argument never really makes sense to me, because smart people are just smart people.
Yeah, you're just smart.
Yeah, maybe you might lack opportunities, or maybe you might lack the ability to capitalize on a thing. But if you are actually given that opportunity and you're a smart person, you will nail it. That is what I think. Yeah.
How is she gonna use that PhD to work?
But point, like,
you can't make this shit up. You can't make it up. So, in other words, you're raising your daughter to be another one of these single women.
No.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are.
Why?
Because
tell me why.
Because 30 is old for marriage, ma'am.
Is it? I didn't think that was old.
What age does geriatric pregnancy typically start for a woman?
19.
Geriatric pregnancy, meaning old pregnancy.
Oh.
35. So if she gets married at 30.
I thought it was 40.
Like, you need to go back to school. Ma'am, 30 years old, what you're doing is you're raising your daughter to get out here, to go get a college degree, to live her life, to experience it, and to get out here and have her fun and be an independent woman. And then you think at 30, she's going to turn around and be able to pick a man off the tree. That's not how that works. You're not really raising your daughter to be a wife. You're raising your daughter to be an independent, modern woman.
Okay. I'm listening.
Yeah, and that's why one in four Black women will never marry in their lifetime, because of what you're talking about. Because when I asked you if you're raising your daughter to be a wife, you started citing her education. The first thing, if you watch my show, that's why this whole sound is so funny, because that's what you ladies tend to think we give a shit about. You don't go to school to get a bachelor's, a master's, and a PhD. All that student loan debt, unless you're rich. You're gonna have student loan debt, right? Then who's gonna have to pay that? She gonna just drop it on her husband? Because you can't be a professional and a mother. You got to pick. So you're gonna have 4, 6, 8 years of college to what? Just go be a mom? No, that's not how that works. You're raised.
But it doesn't make sense really, because if you are going to focus as a stay-at-home mom, why do you need a PhD for? What is it for? Is it just a thing that you can say, yo, I have these qualifications?
That's what I've always wondered.
Yeah.
And student loan debt in the US is crazy.
Yeah.
And we have something like that here. The HELB loan, the higher education loans, they give out loans to students.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, these kids get out of school and there's no job waiting for them. They don't have any money to start a business. They have nothing.
Yeah.
And right now in Kenya, if you have a loan as a student, you're considered a criminal.
Yeah, because you're expected to pay it.
The system is designed to make you fail. So you have to be smarter than that. And this woman...
Do you have any of those loans?
No, I never took any loan. And I have never known how they are applied either.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't do that to myself. It's like you're starting your life already at a negative.
But kids here, campus kids use that funding to just party.
Exactly. That money never goes into anything academic.
Yeah.
It's
like,
to have
most of
fun,
them are just going to go and drink it.
buy whatever you want to buy, move to a nice house. No one actually does any. Well, there are some who usually use it. But
especially
majority,
people coming from the rural side.
that money is used for the most silliest things.
Yeah.
and they get out of school after 4 or 5 years, no job, you have this debt, your parents can't pay for it, your government considers you a criminal.
Yeah, because you have the money you owe us.
You get a baby. Now you have to take care of a human being and you have a debt to pay somewhere else. You bring a man into the situation. You borrow money to do a wedding. You start your marriage on debt.
Too much.
Raising her to survive the world alone. Nothing in what you said have you talked about. I'm raising her to learn how to cooperate with a man.
You're right.
This is what I'm going to be talking about tomorrow night, why your mothers fail you, ladies.
Okay.
Mothers fail their daughters in this way. You teach them how to be independent. And then you wonder why they can't find men. You say you talk about relationships. Okay. What do you talk about relationships with her? You say in order to know what you need to do for that man, you tell her what to look for in a man?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but what do you tell her to do for a man?
Sorry?
I wanted to hear what those things are when it comes to
the one that she's told her about.
As the conversation
to be submissive.
What does that mean?
To be submissive to him as you are to God.
Okay, submissive. What does submissive mean to you? Because she's so submissive as you are to God. So that means she submits to her husband. So that means she submits to her husband like God?
As she would to God, yeah. Because if she has God in her life, then her husband will be second.
Say the what?
If she's submissive to God first, then her husband would come second.
Ooh, no, not really. That's not how that works.
Okay. Well, teach me.
That's not how that works. Your husband comes first.
Okay.
You submit to the God in your husband. See, this is why you guys got to tune in tomorrow, because I don't sense that you're being malicious, man.
Okay.
But you ladies were taught wrong. You're teaching your daughter.
Taught wrong. So I'm not.
I'm saying I know. That's why I said you're not being malicious. I'm not.
Would you appreciate your wife being more appreciative of her religion than you as a husband?
No.
Why not?
Okay, let me use personal examples. I've met women who would listen to what the pastor says and respect it more than what a man would say.
The husband?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Now, the pastor could be right. But when your husband tries to talks to you about something, there's a reason why he's saying that. Now, I'd assume you as a woman, you didn't marry an idiot. Yeah. You married someone who has something between his ears.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. So if you ignore what he says, but you'd rather listen to what the pastor is saying, what does that show about you? And how does that place your man when it comes to importance? Where does it place your man when it comes to importance? So I wouldn't be with a woman who would follow the advice of a pastor more than my own advice. Unless the pastor is advising on things.
You see what happens with the women is that they see the pastor as like a direct voice from God. So his voice stands out so much more. What? I mean, that's the whole idea. I mean, for going for prayers to the pastor and asking advice, because they think this person, like, God has.
Well, is she asking
God
for
has told
advice
him
about
what to do with our lives?
Because if she's asking about advice about her relationship, she should go there with the man, but she's going alone.
Yes, but sometimes the man is busy.
No one is busy on Sunday.
I'm busy on Sundays.
Yeah, church services take an hour. And there are appointments you can make between the week. No one is truly that busy.
But the thing is, yes, not women. People tend to think that the pastors have they have a divine voice.
Let me tell you something. I had this lady who told me if the pastor tells her to leave the current man she's with, she would leave him. And I asked her, is does the man have any problem?
Yeah.
It's like, no, but the pastor said that me and this person are not supposed to be together because of A, B, C, and D. The Holy Spirit showed him. And I asked her, why would you listen to what he's saying? Mm-hmm. And this pastor, by the way, has no idea who this guy is, never met him.
Yeah.
So he's talking from whatever point he's talking from, but it's not from a physical interaction with
he doesn't know the
said
person.
Human being.
Yeah.
So why
he's
would you
using the Holy Spirit.
Come on. Why would you allow someone to have that much control over your life? And
he has the Holy Spirit inspiring him.
Yeah, and the Holy Spirit can still talk to you as well.
No, he's talking to the pastor first of all.
No. And that lady has been married for 8 years.
Yeah.
Got divorced. Yeah. Got into another relationship. The man cheated on her with, well, not really cheated because he had another family in Russia. Mm-hmm. And the man flew to China. And the lady is in Qatar. And she's expecting to be in a relationship with this person. You guys have a kid, you're in one part of the world, he's in another part of the world, your kid is in a different part of the world. Yeah. How are you going to build a family? Then your pastor will tell you, this is not the right person to be with. And you will just follow that. And your pastor has never met this dude. Hey.
There's this guy who was actually expecting his pastor to tell him who to marry. He's single, he's in his 40s. And their religion, they expect the leader, the pastor,
to choose a wife for him.
Yeah, to choose the wife. Yeah, or to tell the woman like, okay, this is your husband. So the guy is still single to date, just waiting for the person to point out the wife.
I know a woman who's 45 and she's still waiting.
But this is a dude. I mean, brainwashing is real, man. Religion is something else.
It's a scam. It's just
honestly have tried to change the dynamics because I was taught so wrong.
Right. So this is what I'll be talking about tomorrow. The Black community, to break the civil rights movement, it was blunted with two things: feminism and liberal theology. Black women they used the church to separate Black men and Black women under this notion of equality. Black women have always been educated and always, but most women go to school to find a husband. Black women are going to school to prove they don't need them. And when you talk about submission, submit to your husband, but to Christ first. You submit to the God in your husband.
You're right.
Okay. Domestically, does your daughter know how to cook?
Yeah, she's cooking right now.
Cool. How long were you married?
I was with him for 13 years and we were married 5.
Did they watch you actually cooperate with him in the household?
Yes.
All right. Women need to talk to their daughters about how to live and cooperate with a man, not what to expect the man to do for them. Women today are expecting men to do for them while they do this. Mm-hmm. And due respect, this going to school, she's 15. You know what she wants to go to school for?
She's in school for like biological science right now.
But if she went to college, do you know what she'd want to go for?
I'm not sure what she wants to go for right now.
I'm gonna just tell you right now, I have a 21-year-old. And I'm gonna tell you, college is useless unless you're really going for science, engineering, technology, math, some sort of professional degree.
Right.
And if you're going to school for communications is one of the largest communications, sociology, psychology, criminal justice. These are 4-degree paths that are dominated by Black women. You go and accrue college debt and you end up getting locked into $40,000 a year, $50,000 a year jobs with a shit ton of debt.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you're going to campus, I personally didn't go to college or university, but
you never went.
I never.
Uh-huh.
However, like if I would take the careers that I think are actually going to help me, like courses that, like, especially the sciences, the coding kind of things, those are like things that are popping.
They're practical.
And they're going to be practical also in the future. like we are moving in the direction of technology. Like we are only going to get a more technologized, if that's even a word.
Technology-oriented planet.
Yeah, like technology is a very young thing right now. Like mobile phones or smartphones are not even 20 years old.
No, they're not.
You know,
Like proper mobile phones.
yeah, I mean smartphones.
Yeah.
Talking about smartphones.
Yeah.
So, are they even 10 years old?
Yeah, I don't really remember, but I don't think they are 20 years old.
Yeah.
The phones have been around for a while, but
Yeah.
smartphones, no.
Yeah. So, and that's the direction where the world is going. So, there are some things you can actually look and say, okay, this course may be worthwhile. However, also you can learn most of these things online.
But here's what I think. In my own observation, education is evolving. Okay, let me rephrase that. Education should evolve.
Mm-hmm.
The classroom has been the same design for the last 100 years. But
Which
the one-
classroom? I mean, you're talking about the Kenyan classroom, or because we've not been to the US classroom.
Well, I say the classroom, I mean what people go to study in school.
Mm-hmm.
It has been the same for the last 100 years. This is worldwide.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, there have been some few changes here and there, but generally it's been the same. But the world has been changing over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
So if someone was to go to school and study something like communications, I wouldn't expect you to come outside and start looking for a job as a news anchor on TV or a radio or something of the sort. You can actually employ yourself with that. You can, like what you're doing right now on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
There are so many people who are doing YouTube and they have the information they got from school on how to be good presenters. Talking like this on a microphone is not for everyone.
Yeah.
Understand?
For me, it's like how I usually learn is just online, like and by practicing. And I fail big. Like this YouTube thing, I'm just doing it because why not?
Mm-hmm.
If I get it right, I get it right. If I don't, I don't, and that's okay. But you have to try these things sometimes. And the thing is, we have all the information we need to do most things. Even speaking on a mic, I mean, you can. I'm not saying I'm really good right now, but you can see I'm improving. Because you can look at my first videos and you'll be like, "Yo, man,
And
this is an
right
improvement."
now-
Even
right
my
now
setup, even my
setup, everything has changed.
Yeah,
has improved. Yo,
But that's the thing. You have to evolve
Yeah.
into getting better, right?
Yeah.
And the point was, even those science, technology kind of things, most of them you can actually learn online.
Exactly.
You don't even need to go to school anymore.
You don't, which makes me
And
think
I'm a perfect example of that. I am a 3D animator. I am a video director.
self-taught.
I am a portrait artist. I am a motion graphics artist. I'm now drawing YouTube.
Oh. And you taught yourself all those things via YouTube.
Yeah, and like
A
so
majority
many
of those
things. In
things.
fact, I've learned everything. I mean, I haven't gone to college or anything, but and I keep pushing myself to get better and better and better.
Let's assume you had a child right now, 2-3 years old.
Yeah.
Would you take a kid to school or will you homeschool them?
It will depend on how rich I am.
Huh?
Yeah, I mean, if I'm really, really rich, I would get a proper tutor.
No, you teach them.
No, I wouldn't have the time to teach the kids properly and also bring food for her and provide for them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think I would be able to do that because most of the things I do, I work from home.
Yeah.
So I would be able to be with my kid and teach us some of these things. There's a politician who tried to teach us on YouTube some time back.
Really?
Yeah.
Who?
Babu Owino. He's a Kenyan politician.
He was teaching what? I don't remember that.
I think it was chemistry or biology.
Really?
It was actually good.
But that guy needs to be jailed, right? moving on.
Yeah, he needs to.
You should watch my platform more because you will start to hear women come on and say they wish they had been told.
Actually, I think the daughter they're speaking about is this one.
Yeah.
Right?
I wish she would be able to, but she's too young too.
Yeah, she's too young.
Not to get into so much student loan debt, to learn how to cooperate with the men, just like Becky, Marisol, Marlene, and Jamila. Not delaying marriage until 20, 30 years old. If you work in corporate America, Your daughter comes out of school at 22, 21 to 23. She'll go to work and she'll see her non-black counterparts going to weddings between the ages of 23 and 26, while black women are going out to have hot girl summers. And then by the age of 27 to 30 is when they finally start to think about slowing down. But that's after relationships that are broken up, sex with no commitment, no strings, and really never learning how to cooperate with the man. And at 30, you really start having women starting to feel like they need to slow down or settle. Then they look back at the men that they want to marry, and because they have a certain standard of life, they've been on their own for so long, they want men to have at least what they have or more, which is natural hypergamy. But then that means you only have a small sliver of men to choose from. The older you are, the longer you wait, the smaller your marital pool gets. It is more likely that in her college years, she will meet a suitable man to marry if he's a young man. But then that means you have to worry, build, and grow. Most women don't want their daughters to marry a young man because he's too young. You don't want her to marry an older man because that really should be your man. So these women are getting told, wait. And waiting is a horrible decision.
Now, I didn't say I didn't want her to be in a relationship. I just didn't want her to like really just seal the deal until she's.
Oh, so you want her to have sex without commitment?
Oh shit!
Oops.
She's already having
Yeah, like I said, I said if you want her to get out there and live her.
She said the daughter is 15.
She has a 19-year-old and the other one is in college, something of the sort.
Yeah, I mean they're already having sex.
They are, yo, those people are freaks, yo. They're freaks. You just don't know. She's ignorant. She's
so this is a mother.
To see
I
that.
understand, and you think that's helping her. Get out here. Let me ask you, as what do you think your daughter is going to learn dating this guy that's going to help her be with this guy?
Nothing, because nothing.
Thank you. So what you just said, relationship means nothing. Dating is dumb.
Right.
It's dumb. You don't need to date this guy to learn how to be with this guy. You need to be with the man and learn how that man flows.
Right.
See, you haven't asked yourself questions from the men's side. It's just been, I want my daughter to have options and be happy and make her choices. No, they need to be guided. They need to be told that you don't need to be out here dating and doing dicks. You need to actually preserve value. Because let me tell you, especially for men that are worth something, I asked this question on Monday. Ladies, what do you have to offer a man that you want, what he wants, that you haven't given to another man?
Yeah, I wish I was able to join that. I watched it after.
So, dating, I get it. You're trying to give your daughter options, but we need to give them parameters. And understanding that men are not the enemy, men are not something to be feared, and like it or not, that unless you are in the 6% of women earning 6 figures or more, you're not going to make enough money to live this life. For example, if you live in Dallas, Houston, Austin, someplace where the cost of living is 100%, if a woman from age 25 to retirement age 65 was making $50,000 a year, that's almost twice as much as the average black woman. If she was making that $50,000 a year and getting a cost of living raise of 3% over a 40-year career, and over that 40-year career, she put away $200 a month. By the time she reached retirement age, she would still have a shortfall for retirement of almost $800,000. You're going to need between 65 and 85, $2.7 million to retire on. And one person can't do it. These countries aren't set up for single people, middle class. So
do you really need all that much money?
In the States, you would need that money. 2.7
million.
million